Hi there, and welcome to another exciting episode. Well, okay, I'm lying to you already there. Another episode of Creepier Features. Well, at least that part's the truth. I'm your host, Bernard Bruhaha. Believe it or not. Well, what can I say about this pilot for a series that never materialized, that hasn't already been written down before dozens of times? Well, anything I want to say, 'cause nothing's ever been written down about this movie. Heck, this movie only gets one line mention on the Wikipedia, and that's only down near the bottom of that really short Dan Curtis page. You know, it's a shame that this never went to series, and I mean that in a good way. I heard about it first after looking into the career of Roy Thinnis, or is it Roy Thins? I'm not sure. Anyway, he was the star of TV's The Invaders, and on the big screen, he was the star in or is it Gary Anderson's? We need to get a fact checker on this show. You know, IMDb doesn't really tell you how to say any of these names. Oh yeah, Gary Anderson, the one and only big screen movie that he did, Journey to the Far Side of the Sun. He also showed up on The X-Files a few times. Now, the screenplay was written by William F. Nolan. Woohoo! Co-author, of course, of Logan's Run, and produced by Dan Curtis of Dark Shadows and creepy old Kolchak fame. Huh. You know, I must have missed this NBC Movie of the Week when it was first on in 1973. For some reason. Debunking the supernatural via a series of recordings on audio tapes. Dave Norliss, played by Roy, he was hired to write a book, Debunking the Supernatural. I just said that. Doesn't anybody check this before they put it on the teleprompter? Unfortunately, after a year, just like George R.R. Martin writing his new book, Roy has nothing on paper either. Just a bunch of cassette tapes. And then he vanishes, leaving his publisher and his lawyer wondering, well, what the hell happened? So they start checking out the very first, and a bunch of numbered cassette tapes. And that's, well, where this story starts. For a TV movie of the week, this is really quite well made. So what the heck is it doing here on Creepier Features of all places? Not quite sure. Anyhow, you sorta gotta have to be into 70s TV movies to love this. But it still has an awful lot of those moments that'll make you jump. Claude Akins, and I'm pretty darn sure that's how you say his name, shows up not too surprisingly as the sheriff. You may or may not remember him as General Aldo in the last Apes movie, well, the last 70s Apes movie, which he did shortly after this. He also played the sheriff in the pilot movie for Kolchak 2, Tries to Rodent Kolchak out of Las Vegas. Now, Angie Dickinson is in this, and she's okay in her role. Of course, she would be good in just about any role. Actually, heck, she'd be smoking hot in a roll of cellophane. Never mind. Stanley Adams appears briefly in this as a truck driver. I recall him best as the 6-foot-tall talking carrot, Tybo, from Lost in Space episode The Great Vegetable Rebellion, which is not as good as this movie. So, that's a plus. Oh, also, there's Nick Dimitri. He was a big-name Hollywood stuntman with a career as long as my web browser history, which, now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should clear out. Anyway, he plays, well, let's just say, his eyes are pretty darn creepy. Now, as you watch this, ask yourself if his eyes would have haunted you if you were a kid when you were watching this. And if you are a kid watching this, sweet dreams. Oh, once you see those eyes, you'll never mind. Just sit back, watch it. It's a little slow to start, but hey, at least you don't have to watch any commercials.